Man with knife wounds 11 people in southwestern U.S. A man with a knife wounded 11 people in the city of Albuquerque, New Mexico in the southwestern United States, Sunday, February 13. The unidentified man has been detained, according to the local police spokesman's office. Police officials are investigating 7 possible crime scenes, amid reports of 11 victims in a knife attack. All of the victims are in stable condition. The suspect, who acted alone, is in custody, the press office wrote on Twitter. Local television station KRQE News 13, citing police, reported that the man carried out the attacks in several areas of the city. According to the channel, the suspect was riding a BMX bike and was holding a knife. Police apprehended the attacker. According to law enforcement, the attacker indiscriminately chose his victims to attack. Earlier, on November 30th, there was a shooting at a school in Oxford, a suburb of Detroit, Michigan. The suspect, a 15-year-old student, fired 15 to 20 shots with a semi-automatic pistol. He is currently in custody. The shooting resulted in the deaths of a 6-year-old boy, a 14-year-old girl, and a 17-year-old boy and girl. 8 people were also injured in the incident and taken to hospitals with various injuries. Political analyst named the most difficult aspect in the negotiations on security guarantees. The most difficult issue, over which Russia will have difficulty finding common ground with the US and its allies, concerns the aspect of not extending NATO because of the open door principle. Pavel Sherikov, a researcher at the Institute of Europe at the Russian Academy of Sciences, told Izvestia on Monday, February 14. He noted that the process is also complicated because of complicated Russian-Ukrainian relations. According to the expert, in order to achieve non-expansion of the alliance, direct negotiations are needed to find a solution that would suit Moscow and Kiev. According to Sherikov, diplomacy remains the only way out of the situation, but Russia and the collective West have absolutely different views on the essence of the problem. The current crisis is taking place against the backdrop of an information and position war. All announcements of a possible invasion are coming from Western countries. At the same time, no one can answer why Moscow needs it. Nevertheless, this issue has been discussed, in fact, on a daily basis for already several months, said the political analyst. On the whole, the situation now seems less and less controllable, and given the amount of weapons that are concentrated in Ukraine, it may even get out of control, Sherikov noted. Earlier in the day, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Russia had prepared a response to the United States and NATO on security guarantees. It is formulated in 10 pages, the diplomat added. Lavrov discussed the answers together with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Russian leader conceptually approved Russia's draft response to the North Atlantic Alliance and the U.S. On December 17, 2021, the Russian Foreign Ministry published draft treaties between Russia and the United States and NATO on security guarantees. According to the documents, the alliance must give up any military activity on the territory of Ukraine and other countries of Eastern Europe, Transcaucasia, and Central Asia. Also, Russia and NATO should give an undertaking not to create conditions which could be regarded as a threat by the other side. In January, negotiations on security guarantees took place in 3 stages. On January 10, there was a meeting of Russian and U.S. delegations in Geneva. On January 12 in Brussels, there was a meeting of the NATO-Russia Council and consultations at the Vienna site of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe completed on January 13. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said on January 26 that Russia had sent a written answer to the proposals on security guarantees. At the same time, U.S. Ambassador John Sullivan gave Moscow a written response from Washington. The United States and EU countries have recently expressed concern about Russia's allegedly intensified aggressive actions against Ukraine. Moscow has repeatedly denied such accusations, stating that it does not threaten anyone. The Russian side stressed that such accusations are used as a pretext to deploy as much NATO military equipment as possible near Russia's borders. An American woman who was admitted to St Petersburg State University has disappeared in St Petersburg. In St Petersburg, an American citizen K.K. Wells who came to Russia to study has disappeared. It was reported on the website of Virtual Admission Office of St Petersburg State University, SPBSU. The girl arrived in St Petersburg at the end of January this year and concluded a contract to study at SPBSU on February 3rd, the TV channel Zvezda reports. Since February 7th, the staff of the educational institution repeatedly tried to contact her, but she never got in touch, reports Federal News Agency. To date, she has not been in contact with representatives of SPBSU. Her whereabouts are unknown. In this regard, a statement has been sent to law enforcement agencies to organize the search for the foreign national, the report said. Lavrov said the US and NATO are ready to respond on security guarantees. Moscow has prepared a document outlining its response to US and NATO responses to Russia's proposals on security guarantees. It is formulated on 10 pages. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said this on Monday, February 14th, during a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Lavrov said that the United States and NATO had reacted negatively to Russia's demands for security guarantees, but that Washington's position coincided in some respects with Moscow's proposals. He said that the United States and its allies were ready for further talks on security guarantees. Discussions on this topic in various contacts will continue in the coming days, Lavrov noted. On Monday, Putin and Lavrov discussed US and NATO responses on security guarantees. During the conversation, the head of state called NATO's eastward expansion endless and very dangerous. Dmitry Peskov, a spokesman for the Russian leader, said on February 14th that Russia had not received direct responses to its proposals on security guarantees. In his opinion, Western countries are trying to focus on secondary details. On December 17, 2021, the Russian Foreign Ministry published draft treaties between Russia and the United States and NATO on security guarantees. According to the documents, the alliance must refrain from any military activity on the territory of Ukraine and other countries of Eastern Europe, Transcaucasia, and Central Asia. Also, Russia and NATO should give a commitment not to create conditions that could be seen as a threat by the other side. In January, negotiations on security guarantees took place in 3 stages. On January 10th, there was a meeting of Russian and US delegations in Geneva. On January 12th in Brussels, there was a meeting of the NATO-Russia Council and consultations at the Vienna site of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe completed on January 13th. On January 26th, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg announced that Russia had sent its written answer to the proposals on security guarantees. According to him, the alliance offered to restore the parties' diplomatic missions and the line of communication. At the same time, U.S. Ambassador John Sullivan handed Moscow a written response from Washington.